And I'm Dustin.
And we are from BanDam, minus Nate, who's home. This is a beta test of our, we're going to try to do a video series. It's kind of like a beta test of it. So, we're just going to do a couple, whatever videos. We want to have like, music gear reviews, or just music reviews in general. Like we're going to maybe do covers, do some originals. Just talk about whatever, whatever we think about. Anything that has to do with the music industry that you guys, or if anybody has any suggestions, you can write them on our page. We'll actually just, do our thoughts about it if you want to hear them. If you don't want to hear them, I understand. So, all right. Today we're just going to do a review of the Line 6 Relay G50. It is a kind of a pedal board version of a wireless rig for your guitar or bass. Or anything really. I mean, you can do it for a keyboard, really doesn't matter, but it's designed to be on a pedal board. So, this is the G50. This is the transmitter. No, this is the transmitter. This is the receiver. So, you put this guy on your pedal board. You can, do whatever you want with it. Kind of make it low. And it is about $350 generally, like online. You can probably find like Musician's Friend or Sweetwater. It has a 200-foot range, and yeah, that's most of the specs. That's really all you got to know. I mean, there's a couple of other things. You have like there's this awesome little audio cable. You can adjust the tone of like a 50-foot cable to 0-foot cable, which is weird, but you can have it. And there's about just 12 channels on here. So, other than that, it's pretty simple. Runs off of this, which is, you can only use the, we'll get back to that in a second. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll do some pros and cons. So pros, it's awesome, it's reliable. This is coming from, this is his, Dustin's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got this. The things that I really like about it personally is the hard casing, because when you're playing, you never know where you're going to step when you're stomping around on your pedal board, and because of this this hard casing, it keeps it durable, it keeps it reliable. If any drinks spill on it, you don't really have to worry because of that as well. Another thing I really like about it is the cable tone, because as you go clockwise along the meter, you actually get a more kind of bassy tone to it, whereas before you had sort of a high tone. So you can add some meat to your sound.
That's pretty cool, because I didn't even really use that a lot. I've had one for about 3 years, and I played electric guitar. I played it through. He plays bass. And what kind of bass do you play through? An Ibanez?
Ibanez.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, it's an Ibanez. He plays it through that. It's a friend we're borrowing. It's a long story. He uses that, and we run it straight through the board. So it sounds really good, I think, anyway. And I've used it for a Fender Stratocaster. It's an American Fender Strat standard, and I have it maybe at 15 feet or something. I never really played with it, but yeah, I mean, it sounds good anywhere. I've never actually got to mess with them. I've had it for 3 years, but yeah. Anyway, but so he's new to it. I've had it for a long time, and I can say one of the biggest pros about this system is it's really reliable. I have never had an issue with it, and it sounds really good. It sounded good for the length I've had it. Never had any glitches around it. It sounds, almost near perfect what a cable would sound like. It's so small. Unless you got that ear and you got that classic tone that you want to get with that, beautiful. Not really with I guess with the bass too, but more, like guitar players. I'm not as much of a guitar player, really guitar player. So, I don't really know about the whole cables, the tones with them. I do use a tube head. So, I like that sound of a tube head, but I think it sounds just like one through a cable, like a regular cable, in my opinion. It has, this guy has an okay battery life. It's, probably, if you have, a 4-hour show, probably last you two gigs, or a gig in a practice, It's supposed to last you 8 hours, like you said.
It's quoted around 8 hours, but I would recommend, every 6 to 7 hours checking on the battery. And it has a battery light too, so if your battery's actually getting low.
You got a signal meter here, you got a battery life meter here has 3, so it's like green 3, still stays on green for the 2, and then the last bar just glows red. So then you want to start changing after that red bar comes up. So I've done that many a time in the middle of the show. Look down and it's about to go out, and yeah, it's probably, if you're a pro, you'd probably recommend just changing it before every show, just to be sure, be safe, or you know, anything like that. That's just, you know, what I would think. So yeah, those are pretty much the pros. Let's again, it's awesome, and I really enjoy it. It's a little bit older technology, but it's like, when I say older, I mean, like, you know, 3 years ago, but you know how that is. But as far as cons go, the only thing that kind of deters me about just kind of like, the only problems we've ever had, is you have to use its power supply. There's no other way to, like, you got this, and if you get Voodoo Lab power supply for your pedal board, it has 2 line 6 inputs for that reason, is that it just can't use regular AC. So that's the only, like, you know, why, because then you have to, if that thing breaks, you got to get another one. Or if, like, if your cable for your Voodoo Lab breaks, you got to get the exact same cable. You can't just, you know, get that. Same thing for cabling. This guy right here, this little quick cable, you know, what is it?
Coax.
What, foot and a half?
Yeah,
I guess.
probably.
Probably about a foot and a half. $50 for that thing. So don't break that. You know. So they've almost Appled it, and I know people hate for that. I have an Apple phone, whatever. But I do understand, like, you know, everything is in this realm. There is no trying to
no easy replacement.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's kind of easy to replace it, but it's expensive, and they're going to make sure of that. Like, you can't just go to, you know, Radio Shack or whatever and get another cable. All right. Let's see. And the only other really big, like, it could be a big issue to some people, not a lot to others, but this clip right here is super tight. Like,
it can kind of double as a pro and a con, because it's really challenging, honestly, to put it onto your guitar strap. But because of its tightness, you know, it's not going to come off during the show. Exactly. So it's just how you look at it. It's really tedious, but it pays off at the same time.
It's a bitch when you put it on there. When you get it on there, you're like, hell yeah. So just don't. You can just not take it off. That's the best thing. Just kind of put it in your case. Get your a strap and just put it in your case with that thing on there. Keep it on there if you're able to. All right. That's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it for this guy. It's very simple. There's not a whole lot to say about it, except for, you know, what we just said. You know, you got to tune your augs out. That's about it, though. Now you get your main and your tuner out, and a power supply in. So, yeah, it's durable as shit. It's awesome. I will say that. It is like that. If you stomp on that, and it's perfect, because it's like little, you can see these grooves right here. Even if your foot goes down this, it's not going to hit these knobs that bad. So, like, if this wasn't here, I'd be like, why would you design it that way? But it's, yeah, you can kind of see that. Anyway, so other options, if you don't want to go with this and you want a wireless, but you're like, $350, you know, why? Well, if you want to go for something cheaper, you can get the G30, which is a plastic version of this. It doesn't have these knobs. It has more of like a rotating, just like a switch, like a round switch. It's really interesting. Has the same thing for the receiver transmitter. Has the same thing for the transmitter. No, you know, it doesn't have a screen on there, so you can't see exactly what's happening or really read, you know, the battery life. But, you know, I mean, it's only $200, so $150 less. And it has a 100-foot range. This has a 200-foot range. So, and I mean, really, what gigs are you be playing? I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're playing smaller bar shows and stuff like that, then I think that would be just fine. But just remember, this is a plastic shell, or not this one, but the G30 is a plastic shell. So if you're in a, you know, really heavy rock band or metal band, you're just like, you know, getting crazy and stomping on all of your pedals all the time, just be careful about it. Like, maybe just, you know, make a pedal board and keep this thing, like, you know, a good foot and a half, what it's about, you know, so you don't, you know, stop mine. And the other option that came out a couple, like last year, or like, I think it was last year, at NAMM, which NAMM 2015 is coming up. I'm excited. You should be excited too if you're a music lover. The GLXD series by Shure. It runs around it's 50 more bucks than this, so it's not a huge chunk above it. And honestly, like, the technology with it is awesome. I absolutely, like, it's really good. And I forgot exactly what the it's the GLXD like 24 or something like that. Don't quote me. That's just me bullshitting in my mind. but it's really awesome. Our guitar player, who's not here right now, hopefully he'll be in some more videos too. We're gonna just tack him in there. You know, we're up in Boone. It's snowing right now, and we're snowed in. So he has the GLXD pedal. It looks very similar to this. Has no antennas on it, and it has a tuner. That's the cool part. Like, this is actually they just kind of replaced this with a tuner, so it doubles your pedal, and it, you know, saves space in your pedal board. The big plus with that thing that I think actually has the biggest up from this that the GLXD series has is the battery. It is a rechargeable battery, and that battery lasts like 16 hours on one charge. It is awesome. I actually have the GLXD microphone that they have, or the wireless microphone, and it is awesome. We'll probably do a review on that pretty soon too, because I love that microphone. It sounds almost better than an actual wired microphone in my opinion. It's stupid how close they got it, and like how much money you have to spend. It's only $400 for something that sounds incredibly like it. Rechargeable battery. You never have to buy a battery in your life, which I hate doing. And yeah, it's really good. And Nate uses it, so it's like we actually have had field experience with it, and everything he does with it sounds really good. So yeah, we'll do a review on that. We'll do a review on just the GLXD series in general pretty soon, and go over those. So any other thoughts on this thing?
The only other thing I would add is that it's very compact too. And when you're packing it away, if you don't have it hooked up, you can easily just unhook these and attach them to other, or put them in other compartments. So there's a lot that you can do with it, and that's really the only other thing I would add.
Nice. Yeah. I haven't taken the antennas off in forever, so I don't really know. Yeah. I just kind of put them on. That was it. Cool. Well, guys, hope you liked this video. It was a very beta test video. We wow. Okay. we'll hopefully they'll get better, and we're just gonna keep doing them. We're gonna love the hate, just bring it. And yeah, I mean, hope you guys, if you have any other, just like if you want us to talk about whatever, we can you know, put our opinions on it, like, you know, guitars, anything really. We're just gonna keep rolling with these, or just like songs that came out, you know, how to get gigs, like what, you know, how to talk to venues if you're, you know, you're starting out band, you want to like learn a couple things, little tips on that. That'd be awesome. Whatever, just talk music pretty much. So, and until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Dustin.
We're from BanDam. Nate's in Charlotte. They'll be up here soon. See you later.